Start that bitch. They can hear us right now, but they can see the input. That is true. Damn. Good thing Brett said something, because I was going to forget you again. Yeah, well, you kind of know me, don't you? Hey, guys. How's it going? How's it going? I mean, long time no see. We just saw you last night, but I appreciate anybody who's watching. Brett, Eric.
Over.
I'm sure Dave's listening.
Hope Dave's beating Dylan.
I still say the beatings don't count if we don't witness.
Oh yeah, that's a given. Let's see if I can pull up some interesting, maybe wonderful and interesting things.
Yeah, so they found out that F-18 that went over was knocked over by a fucking cat. Assholes.
See, there you go. More proof that the Earth's not flat.
Now, they still didn't say how, but it went over with a pusher cart. You know the pushers. It went over with one of those.
They were probably making a new video.
That could be. They said one person was hurt, but they wouldn't say how bad or how he got hurt. And they're saying it's probably the guy that was in the cockpit that jumped out. Because the first reports were the guy was in the cockpit when it went over, blah, 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 but no. But they're still not saying how they lost control of it.
I'm sorry, I just don't understand those concepts. It's like, when they fall out of the sky.
Yeah. But like, I can remember when I worked at Walmart, we had a couple of those electric pallet jacks. And if you let go of it, if nobody was physically in control, like your riding lawnmower, if you fall off the seat, there's a switch, a pressure switch that says stop.
Yeah.
You would think, you're pushing around a $60 million piece of equipment, you would have at least that kind of a safeguard.
Yeah, you'd think. Different strokes for different folks.
I don't know, but again, we don't know the whole everything, and we probably never will, but...
Yeah, that's probably like the dude that lives down the block, that for some strange reason, every time he gets a new car, it gets stolen.
Ha.
That's bad luck. Sorry, dude.
Sorry, dude. I don't want nothing to do with you. I haven't heard any more about the 88 million dimes, rather.
Man, I need it. Oh, apparently the Soviet didn't get so beat up yesterday by all them Union peoples.
No.
But he was pushed to the ground and had the video of it.
Oh, okay, so they actually did lay hands on him.
Yep.
Or laid something on
Jamie
him.
Raskins. Jamie Raskins, piece of crap.
Yeah, well.
He was out there stirring them up.
Trust me, it won't go unnoticed. And then, what else happened? I can't believe those 8 million dimes. They're going to be picking them up for weeks.
Well, they had that killer vacuum.
That was kind of cool. I wonder how well it was working, though.
I don't know.
I mean, because, the vacuum at home picks it up because you got that little beater brush going. But to actually just suck up a dime, I don't know.
It's sucking up the whole area.
Yeah. take it back and wash it somewhere. Wash the dirt out. Geez, like that's got to be an undertaking of epic proportions. I can see them out there with
Yeah.
metal detectors. I'd like to see how much they recover. Give us a final number.
A word of wisdom from our friends over at YouTube.
Bacon facts. People who eat bacon are less likely to blow themselves up. Amen, brother.
Brought to you by X.
I meant to make a sign because you're supposed to make a sign. Bacon is good for you. And then you can say, you're welcome. Now you can say you read it somewhere.
That's true. Maybe you call up a friend you gave it to, and then we can say there was two sources.
That's right.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I said you had a friend.
I do. You're my friend.
Oh, okay. I keep forgetting.
And Dylan keeps telling me I'm his friend, but I don't know.
That's kind of scary, ain't it?
I don't see it yet, but
Well, he's still got those TROs against him.
I think maybe when he comes and gives me a full report on diacetyl, maybe we can be friends.
With the international annotations.
Yes. And a list of all sources.
And a picture of J.K. Rowling.
Yes. And a football helmet full of cottage cheese and naked pictures of B. Arthur. If you can name that movie, I'm impressed.
It's okay, Brett. I know. He is a meanie. I don't know if he's a blue meanie or a screaming meanie.
He looks like a screamer.
Yeah. But, he's still got that nickname. Skid Mark.
Skid Mark. There was always a story going around of somewhere in the backwoods at a lumber camp, some chick was up there visiting for the weekend. They had a big party. She was wearing a thong bikini, got drunk, passed out, and I guess she started shitting herself. And because she's wearing a thong bikini, so her nickname forever on was Log Splitter. But I don't know. I never met Miss Log Splitter, so I can't testify to the accuracy of the story, but it sounds funny.
Yes, it does. Well, I say old Bobby went down and was talking with the Texas cattle ranchers.
Yeah.
Talking about getting them some help getting some of those chemicals out of the watering system that y'all are feeding them cattle with.
What was their reaction to that?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is like a good thing.
Well, I'm just afraid that the corruption's gone further than we feared, because what if they got these farmers brainwashed? I know all of them aren't. I mean, we see them on. I mean, they're screaming on the news. But what if there's a sect of them that are brainwashed, like they've got their other people brainwashed? I don't know. It just from there the possibilities are endless. What kind of experiments are they doing on you? What can they inject into the food supply that way?
Well, they haven't had very much luck getting one to transfer from eating a piece of meat.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you're a farmer and you're one of these liberals that are easily, you're led, you follow the buzzwords, everything I say is gospel to you.
Growing with Monsanto.
Yeah, so now I can talk you into, well, let's try this in your beef critters. Let's try this
Oh yeah.
new drug. Let's try this. Let's try this in your crop. And
Yeah.
you
Well,
got these blind libtards that might do it.
dude, the FDA and the USDA were more like fucking Al Capone's boys running around twisting elbows.
Yeah,
You
and
got a nice farm there. I'd hate to see anything happen to it.
exactly. And I still believe when you hear about these listeria outbreaks or the E. coli outbreaks, I'm I'm convinced that half of those at least are planted. During an
Yeah.
inspection, how hard would it be to have a little spray bottle of E. coli? You
Well,
test
people don't.
positive, kill them.
Yeah, people aren't taught about that. They have no clue. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna get an E. coli from eggs and chicken.
you're gonna get E.
Like
coli from
salmonella.
hamburger meat.
Yeah, but
That's why you cook
they
it.
practically they yeah you cook it and it kills it. It's back when the AIDS was going around. Everybody was wondering, wow, what if you swallow it? Nothing. What they
Nothing.
called a dumbass,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because a dumbass.
amongst other colorful things, because the acid in your stomach would dissolve it, kill it.
Yeah, it's like some poisons you can touch but not inhale, and others you can inhale but not touch, and
Yeah,
it just depends
but
on it.
wish they hurry up and get out with that movie. You don't know nicotine.
I haven't seen anything about it. But then again,
I
in
mean,
all fairness, I don't think I've actively looked for it either.
yeah, that was what do they call it? Crowdsourced.
Yeah.
That's why it's taking so long.
Oh, there's Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
Oh,
Just in time.
just in time. JT's going to do tricks. I'm going to do a naked table
Yeah.
dance, and we're going to, I don't know, maybe whistle Yankee Doodle.
Oh, come on now. Oh, remember last week I showed you them critters that were growing in the lab from the fog?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Hang
Well,
on.
here,
Let me share it with the people at home.
yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Now this is after 3 weeks. This is what it's mutated into.
Wow. But I wonder I mean, this is lab grown, right?
Yeah, they're growing it in dark, moist area, like comparable to being in a lung.
Okay, but are they bombarding it with, like, say, white blood cells, or? I mean,
No, they're just letting it
is there
grow.
one condition that we have that the lab don't that may be preventing it? I don't know.
Hmm.
Because you would think if it grows like that, that would show up. I mean, you would know about that right now.
I was more afraid of those ones that look like the ferns.
Yeah. But if you had
Shit,
something like
no.
that growing in your lungs, you would think you would know about it. You would know you'd had a problem. You'd at least go to the doctor.
Yeah, but man, brings me back to the fucking what was it, Creep Show 2? Jordy Verrill, Stephen King. He touched the asteroid.
Yeah, that's the
You
asteroid.
bughead.
Yeah. He started
So
growing.
remember, your government hates you.
Yeah.
And it's trying to
I,
kill
I
you.
can remember in grade school there was a story, a children's book about a kid who pushed his peas around with his thumb on his plate.
No, that was a Captain Kangaroo.
Was it? And
Did
then,
that.
yeah, and then the plant grew out his thumb, and then his tears killed it because of the salt water.
Hey, don't say anything bad about that. That's how my folks got me to quit using my phone.
Hey,
But hey,
my dad just look at you and say, "I'll backhand you, boy."
You got more couth than that in you.
You always had a piece of bread to push your food onto your fork. But I like a spoon. I've always used a spoon because I'm a messy
I
guy.
had a coffee bean shoved up my nose for several weeks. It had sprouted.
Well, that don't sound very pleasant. I mean, was it an experiment, a dare, or you just retarded for a
I
few
don't
minutes?
know. Yeah, it was one of my early experiments when I was about a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
I was advanced for my age.
And the conclusion of this experiment? Human
Why did
nose.
you wait so long to tell me about it, Mother?
Human nose is not a suitable environment for coffee bean growth. I don't know.
Well, no, maybe she was getting on me because back at that time, everything went up your nose.
Uh, what was that stupid show? I never really watched it, but it was so popular. Johnny Knoxville. Uh, they did stupid shit, almost killing themselves.
Jackass.
Jackass. Well, they talked one of the guys on there. I just caught the snippet of it. They talked one of the guys into shoving a Hot Wheels car up his ass and then going to the doctor and getting an X-ray.
Why?
That's what I asked. I think that's why I never watched the show because that was the first thing I ever saw of that. And it's like, all right, if this is what it's about, no, but come on, there's got to be a better way to make money.
It come across to me it was more dumbass than
Yeah.
jackass. No, I'm sorry. I got over watching guys get kicked in the nuts when I was about 10, 12 years old, you know?
Yep. If you got to watch a reality show, I like that one. Like, what was it? Fear, not a Fear Factor, maybe. Not the one where they went to
Yeah,
the
that was
haunted
the Joe
place.
Rogan.
The,
Yeah.
the one where they had to, they got to do stupid shit like jump from a helicopter or.
Oh, dude, I was drunk one night and I was in a hurry and I was trying to watch that and finish my beer, get out the door to go get Tammy. They started eating them fucking worms, man.
Oh no, I remember that show. That was
Oh god,
gross.
I fucking puked
I
everywhere.
watched them eat a horse's anus.
Yeah,
Oh. And then they did a follow up show where they brought contestants back and they talked them in. They told them that, oh yeah, you brought a spirit home with you. You're possessed now. Or am I thinking of a different show? Because they used to they gave them a you had to go to this section of the wherever they were and do this, so or incite this cantation or what was that show?
Fear Factor?
Might have been Fear Factor.
Probably Fear Factor.
But that's the one where they said that I remember the episode because they were on a haunted ship, a fishing trawler, and apparently she cut herself. Just a simple scrape, and oh yeah, you brought a demon home in that cut, and I can remember that. It was stupid. It was like a Maury Povich kind of, setting.
Yeah, yeah, Cheryl, you are right. That is something Dylan would do. That's why we keep him around.
Uh,
Crossing over with John Edwards. What the hell are you talking about, Brett?
I remember the show. I never watched it, but I remember the show.
It's good. He talks to dead.
Talk to dead people.
No. Oh, what was that one? Uh, the woman from the East Coast.
Oh, from Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I just went
the extra large. Oh, the medium.
medium.
Okay. Yeah, she's not
Yeah,
a
the
medium.
medium. Yeah. Didn't she try to get into politics or something?
I don't know. I don't know. Again, I know the show, but I never watched it.
Divorced her husband.
Oh, Kelly knows all about it. She said, yeah, divorced her husband and shit. And
Teresa Caputo.
Teresa Caputo. Where do I know that name from?
Because you don't like the show.
No, 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 it comes from Orange is the New Black. That was one of the warden's name.
Oh,
Caputo.
oh.
Kind of like Jones.
Yeah. If you never watched Orange is the New Black, it's borderline, but
First one was
it kept you
Oh,
going. But
brother, I lived it.
yeah.
yeah, no, you didn't live this. This was way you would laugh. It's a comedy for you.
I lived the real life version.
Then they had the I want to say it was not Australia. What's the one beside Australia? New Zealand.
Yeah.
I think it was a New Zealand prison. It was the same concept. It was a women's prison. That got a little more in depth because it was a foreign made, but
Yeah.
I like the documentaries. The Supermaxes. I like the foreign ones, like the one in Russia where you're behind two locked doors. Every cell has a barred door and then a solid door, and you don't go
Uh,
anywhere unless you're bent over and hogtied. And
Kind of similar to El Salvador.
yeah, very similar. What's Black Dolphin? Black Dolphin prison, I think, or Black something. Yeah, Black Dolphin. Yeah, they take their criminals very serious, and it don't matter what you're in. But then it was then the exact opposite was I don't know if it was Sweden or Norwegia.
Hmm.
One of them, their prison is like a campus, like a college
Yeah.
campus, and they got
Yeah.
rooms nicer than I sleep in, really. And if they're caught trying to escape, there's no punishment because that's a natural human response.
Yeah. Well, you remember Anders Breivik that went to that little island with the teenagers out for the summer camp and he shot them all down and shit. He was in one of those.
Oh,
And he,
really?
yeah, remember he escaped. But there's another story that there was a death metal band and the singer freaked out and killed the guitarist. And then the bass player killed the singer
Okay.
or the drummer. Yeah. Anyway, it was found. He was cooking him up, having some friends stew. He they got him off into prison and shit. And it wasn't a couple of years later he was out and went back to the same place with the last remaining member of the band.
Wow.
Gotta love that death metal.
Gotta love that death metal, I guess. I can see it now. Husband and wife. Wife finally beats the husband to death with a guitar. Standing in front of the judge, looks at her and says, "First offender?" She goes, "No, first a Gibson, then a Fender."
Happens a lot.
By the way, that's not Joke of the Day, copyrighted by Rawchuck. Does that get me away from a copyright strike?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be a dumbass. Anything we
It's
say or
okay,
do.
Chuck. It's okay. Chuck doesn't watch anyway, so
Chuck's enjoying his bathroom.
I bet he is. Man, this means he went 2 days before Saturday to go take a shower.
Wow. Could you imagine?
I,
I'm getting itchy just
so
thinking
like,
about it.
yeah, I know, I do too.
Besides, if you take a shower more than once a month, it's not economical because fat people use a lot of more soap.
Yeah, well, I tell you one thing: you got to get them fat people off the conditioner because if you notice on the bottle, it'll tell you it will make you fluffy.
Oh, that's what it is.
Exactly, I know these things.
But I'm fluffy and I don't use conditioner.
I gotta get something to get high on. I just missed one of the greatest openings.
I'm working on it. I didn't know. I didn't say that on live TV. I got to look into this whole marijuana thing now. Because every time you go into a dispensary, whether it's medical or not, because they have to scan your ID, is there a record kept with the state? Or is it just for their purposes in case they get asked, did this guy come in? You see what I'm saying? Because if there's a record, I'm wondering if there's a record with the state when I go into a dispensary and I buy marijuana.
Oh.
Is there a record kept when they scan my ID? Is that just for their purposes, or is it kept with the state that I frequent this marijuana shop?
Yeah, I think that's more for their purposes.
I don't know. I'd like to know for sure.
There's a lot of things in this world we need to find out about.
So, if that's the case, if they're turning over my name every time I buy a fucking ounce of weed, I might as well get a medical card and get the benefits of the tax break.
Yeah. You would think. I was always told it was a turkey.
Well, goose ain't much smarter.
That's a duck.
That's a duck, or it looks like a goose?
It's a dumb duck.
Oh, it is a duck. I see the bill.
That's short neck.
Yeah.
So now
Well,
you know.
maybe he's never seen snow.
Oh, sleep.
Well, maybe he's never seen that. Maybe it's only been rain to him.
Well, I did see him stretch up there and kind of cock his head. He may have been looking for where it was coming from.
Yeah.
But I always heard it was turkeys in the rain.
Someday we'll be advanced enough to actually know what the critters are thinking. Cause you gotta wonder what goes through their mind. Like, what does a critters think the first time he sees an automobile? What goes through a critter's mind? Or does a coherent thought go through its mind?
Well, brothers,
The stuff I need to know.
are you sure you can handle the trail?
I could.
That's a long rabbit hole. I'm telling you.
That's all right. I stocked up yesterday at the store. And then I wonder, the old argument is my red, your green.
It could happen.
How do we know that you're actually seeing the same color I am? You know that's red because that's what you've always called red.
Yeah, but now you're causing me to have the other dilemma I had when I was growing up. Because everything on TV was black and white.
Yeah.
And was everything before that in color or black and white? Because everything after that was in color.
I think we've just gone too deep now. My brain is on reset.
See what happens when I don't get to get high?
I'm just going to say everything was black and white.
Okay. That makes me feel better.
It's easier. Can you hear it? My brain winding down?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think you need some brake oil on
You laugh. I watched somebody oil their brake pads.
Who?
Yeah, I have too.
Huh?
Who?
Um, that idiot we hired when I was well drilling before I lost my arm.
Oh,
You
yeah.
tell him to go move the car, he picked the fucking thing up with you on it. You know, he was that dumb. Yeah. And he came in one morning and he goes, "You got any oil?" And I'm thinking, oh, maybe his car's low. Maybe he just, scrounging a quart of oil. And he goes, "You got a spray bottle?" And now I got curious. So I follow him out and he's spraying his brake rotors and his rear brake drums. I go, "What are you doing? They sticking? What?" He goes, "No, they squeak."
Oh, Jesus. Code, get a new pair of
All right.
pants.
Well, did it help him?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I know he didn't come into work the next day, but eventually he came in. So apparently he didn't kill himself, but it couldn't have
Well,
been
maybe he
good.
did.
It couldn't have been good.
Maybe maybe he did, and it was the pod person.
It's cold.
Maybe.
Could be.
I don't know. I just oil your brakes. And then I watched the guy. We were coming down Mount Washington, and his brakes were hot as hell. I mean, they were glowing. And he opens his bottle of water and commences to splashing his brake pads with water. Yeah. Needless to say, we had a noticeable wobble all the way home.
Imagine that. But see, I grew up in the times when people were losing their radiators because of the damn thermostat. They'd take the
Yep,
thermostat out.
that was a trick. Yeah.
Hey, don't do that by yourself with that shirt on that radiator cap.
Oh, everybody's done that once, at least.
Or there was an old switch the spark plug wires.
Yep. Or turn the bonnet upside down.
But they used to have like a competition to see who could get out of the driver's seat and under the hood and throw off the air filter onto the yard before the cops come by.
Oh. I can remember one night we drove. I had to been at least 15 miles with me under the hood feeding gas into the carburetor with my buddy with his head out the window trying to drive. Oh yeah, like 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh yeah, it was. It was a ride.
Yeah. The best thing we had was all four doors were off the neon. We were still waiting on stuff, but we were out of beer. We needed to go get some beer. So
We
we went
needed.
about a mile and a half to go get us some beer up on the northeast side of town.
Oh, oh, mile and a half. We'd have just hiked that.
3 miles straight up.
But
And
it
that
was
was
wet
back
and cold
before.
outside.
What's that?
It was wet and cold outside.
Yeah, but that used to be my bag, though. We used to be outdoors people. We would. It would be nothing. We'd go, "Hey, why don't we just go this weekend?" And Friday we'd throw on a pack and off we go. We'd hike some mountain. We'd go into the woods somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we weren't the preppy outdoors ones.
But see, you wouldn't be taking off at work in the middle of the day because you just got a hunch you wanted to go up the mountain.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take off work for it, but well, we would once a year. I'd take my vacation. We'd go up in the White Mountains, and there's a state park up there we liked.
and tempted.
Yeah, and we tend. I used to sleep on the ground. I can't even get on the ground now. Well, I can get on the ground. I can't get off the ground.
Yeah.
All I got to do
I
is
used
just.
to hate that. And we get down not knowing if you were going to get up.
Yep. And every day it seems
But
like somebody moves
hey,
that
I can
floor.
get down and I can get up now.
No, I don't get up so good no more. That's why I want a bike so bad. I want to get one of them e-bikes with pedals, and I'm just so scared. If one fall, and I mean, I could do damage. I could hurt myself.
Dude, that's why you get a recombinant.
I was thinking of that. Either that or the guy down here at the grocery store. He's got one of them electric trikes, but it's not really wide like you think of an old lady trike. It's kind of narrow. It looked like you could tip it, but you'd have to try. But he takes it from here to the city. He says he goes from here to the city, and when he gets where he's going, he plugs it in, and then he comes home with it. And that's 10, 15 miles easy.
Well, you have to get you one that's set up with a sidecar. And then you could be like the two fat ladies.
That would work. Because, the grocery store is only 2 miles down the road. It would, a nice summer day. Except for the road I got to go on is kind of a killer, but.
It's a state highway.
What else we got to bitch about?
What is it?
I read somewhere that China, was it Russia? I forget now. North Korea and China maybe want to open up the first international highway.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one.
It came across MSN, so.
Yeah. Well, I know the China deal was the Belt and Road. Those all wanting to be on Marco Polo and shit.
I don't know, maybe they're revisiting something like that. I don't know. I think it's just more fear mongering.
Yeah.
Look what he's getting us into. They're allying,
People don't get it.
Kind of like the whole North Korea and Ukraine scare. Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the world is never liked us. They are not our allies.
They didn't like us when we were interfering. Now they hate us because we're not interfering.
Yep.
It all boils down to they just wanted our money and shut up.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what the deal was over there in Ukraine here over there.
And that's exactly what Biden was giving them.
Oh, they're supposed to have signed the agreement with Trump.
Yeah, I won't see it. I won't believe it till I see it. He's changed his mind 2 or 3 times before this.
It was up to 8 times, dude.
Oh, was it? Okay, I knew about 2 or 3.
Yeah, it just kept on going back and forth playing ping pong. Dude, you ain't got nothing on the man that wrote The Art of the Deal.
Yeah, exactly. What are you thinking?
Your European buddies letting you drink your fancy champagne and eating like a little finger food. They ain't telling you what's going on.
But it's just funny to watch them scramble for just anything they can do to disparage us. Why aren't you mad about this? Because we wanted this.
That old drunk ass Kamal out there crying about this ain't their America. This is supposed to be for we the peoples.
Well, I'm not we the people.
No, although there was more of us we the people that wanted this. I'm sorry about your denial, but it is what it is.
Oh, I gotta see that, Brett.
What's that?
He's dancing like Chanda.
No.
I want to see it, topless even.
Wow. I've never seen him.
Oh, Brett's a pretty sexy guy. He's come in topless before.
Has he?
Yeah, he come in to tease Dylan topless a couple times, and he's a pretty sexy guy.
Yeah. Wow. I gotta meet people like that.
Yeah, you're gonna embarrass him.
Huh?
I said you're gonna embarrass him if you call him sexy.
No, I'm just gonna make Dylan jealous. That's all. That, my friends, is the sound of what I do to deal with the world. Fuck 'em.
Man, especially when shit like this is allowed to go on.
What are you doing now?
I'll show you. You ready? You got your finger ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Why'd you ruin the eraser for me?
I gotta see it. Y'all gotta share my misery.
Oh my. Wow, that is a haunting image. Now, I'm not saying that because it's a big person. I'm saying that is because it's a big person wearing that dress.
Lululemons. I bet you he's been watching Mark.
I don't get the connection.
Fagan and his Lululemons.
Oh yeah, yeah, maybe. No, I mean if you're dressed appropriately. Other than that, people are gonna point and stare, and then you're gonna get all upset, and you're gonna say, "They're picking on me, and I'm getting bullied, and it's a hate crime." No, you're a freak.
And we have two places you can go. One is padded.
And the other's California.
Stay in the cage. People will come by and look at you.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say California, but
No, I'm all for bringing back freak shows.
I don't know why we got. Well, I know why we got rid of them, but I don't know why we did.
I know it. Hell, they got run off from having any animals in the circus anymore.
But see, that's about when shit started going. Well, when you start saying you can't have that freak show because it's not right, but the freak don't mind because that's the only job he's really getting, and the audience don't mind.
And it is rather scientific too.
Yeah.
Think about it. You know, look how the wild man of Borneo. How long did he last?
Oh my God.
And what was it? Tom Thumb.
Tom Thumb. And who was the short girl? She looked like somebody's old grandma just shrunk down 1/10 size. Oh, what the hell was her name? I can remember we saw an interview with her on TV in school. It was one of them days when you walked into the classroom and there was the TV cart and you go, "Oh yeah, TV day!"
It was almost as fun as the projector.
The projector. Only the movie projector. When you saw the film strip machine, no, not so
Yeah.
good. It was kind of okay, but not like a movie.
But is it appropriate that your teacher always had you sit right by the projector? I mean, come on. Yes, well, they said it was because we were turning out the lights and they needed me to protect them.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what they were saying.
I always had to sit next to the projector because I knew how to run it.
Oh, that was the other part.
Fourth grade, I knew how to splice a fucking movie together.
Aren't you a hot dog?
Oh, they taught me.
Good for you. Maybe one of these days we can get you in the business of it.
Now, if I look back, if I could only go back and just teach myself how to move some frames around. Oh, could you imagine the teacher? I don't know. I got a weird brain, but I could see going back in time, changing that shit, and then come back and the history books have changed. Shit, different. Because that's what. Oh, yeah. I see the
And
story
that's
playing out.
yeah, that you're getting off into like the butterfly effect and shit.
Exactly.
But I don't think time travel in reverse is possible. Now, going forward, that's actually possible.
But why couldn't you go back?
Oh my god, Brett.
Well, that depends on what theory of time travel you're using. If you're talking about folding space, I can't understand why you could go forward but not back.
Because all things would be changed by you going back.
That I get. But you could go back. You just wouldn't know you went back because you would change things and you probably wouldn't get to go back again. If that makes sense.
I used to what?
No, because I don't want to grow a third head.
That's lies the problem with time travel. There's just so many different ways it could go. Maybe you wouldn't have any
Well,
effect. What if you
yeah,
could travel back in time and not be seen or not have any effect at all? What if life is predestined? What if, no matter what, like you ever seen the movie Time Travel, Time Machine? We talk about it all the time. How many times did he go back and try to prevent his love from getting run over, getting dead? But every time he'd stop the car from running her over, the huss did, or maybe I don't know. Again, there's just so many ways you can go down the rabbit hole on this one.
I think we start small, something like a trebuchet, at least big enough to throw Dylan.
Yep, let's try it.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, yeah. I think that's a good place to start.
I saw one that threw a 200-pound cannon, 200-pound steel ball, and they launched that thing. I think the furthest they got it to go was like 400 yards. But that's a 200 steel ball out of it was an honest to goodness trebuchet. It wasn't souped up. There was no air power. There was no springs. It was honest to goodness hand built wooden ropes.
Yeah. Oh, there's a rich dude over there built one bigger than that. It was throwing, what was it, Mini Mac, the car?
Wow,
Yeah, and it was throwing it about 200, 300 yards.
that's gonna be a big critter.
Yeah,
Holy
it was
shit!
cool. It was nice.
Because the one I saw was a big critter. It reminded me of a small crane.
Yeah, because they had them.
Well, we do one of those. I mean, they do it across the country, but them pumpkin chunkers, where
Yeah.
they got the air powered division, they got the manual division, they got the spring powered division. I mean, any way you can think of throwing a pumpkin, they got a division for it. And it's kind of fun to watch the creativity.
Yeah, I want to see him do it on top of a caber.
Probably give somebody the notion or an idea, and they'll do it.
Get him drunk enough and put a kilt on him.
They tried the seesaw board where, put the pumpkin on one end of the board and then get up high and jump on it. That was a division. Yeah, that was human powered. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch people act like idiots once in a while. Not all the time. Once in a while, let loose, have some fun at the fair.
But wouldn't it be cool if we had the cheese roll?
Well, something like that, yes. There's a thing on. I want to say I saw it on Tubi, and they did a whole episode on extreme sports, but the one whole episode was on that cheese roll, and that's a serious sport to them.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it makes no sense to me, but they train. I mean, they actually train for this.
And then you got to figure out which hills are going to be doing it on to do your training.
And the conditions, is it slippery, dry, wet, muddy? Yeah, is the grass cut, grass long, short? Yeah, oh yeah. But people get fucked up.
Oh, and then they have the next division. Men and women.
Oh, well, that's a sport where I guess it really don't matter. You can break a leg either way. It don't matter what you got dangling. To be honest with you, I don't see an advantage or a disadvantage either way. I could see an advantage to being light, but I could also see an advantage to having stronger, heavier legs.
It's true.
I don't know. Maybe that's the true sport for the trannies.
Because it's more like parkour.
Yeah. Which is a French martial arts of running away, but they do it in style.
Oh, so that's why they named that tank that.
They also had a gas mask you had to pee on to make it work, so. But I guess if it's that or chlorine gas, okay.
Yeah. But still, you gotta go with the Australia. Jellyfish!
Fuck the jellyfish. Now they don't pee.
Go piss on somebody's leg if they got bit by it. You got a jellyfish stuck to them.
Yeah, but now they don't do that. But now they give you that little green thing to suck on to get you high.
What the hell?
Yeah, no, I was watching. Kelly watches that. What the hell's that show? The Bondi Beach. They're lifeguards. It's a reality kind of show. And yeah, they don't. Somebody said I watched an episode of it. And somebody said, "Oh, pee on him." No, we don't do that anymore. And they call it the green whistle, and you suck on it like you would an inhaler, and yeah, it dopes you up.
Screw that, I'm still pissing on
I'm still peeing on you, motherfucker. There ain't many options you get to piss on somebody and be right.
Exactly. It's my customs.
If I have to, I'm setting you on fire too. Damn, it was a double indemnity, you know.
Shit happens.
He sold a big roofing job today. I really like that.
Holy shit! Congratulations, Brett. I'm happy to hear that for you. All joking aside, brother.
congrats. I know what he was doing. He went. He knows where that tornado went. Went
Yeah.
over there. The tornado went.
Was he in with DARPA? Did he make the weather go that way so he could get in on a roofing job?
I wouldn't put it past him, man.
Kind of like the guy that opens up a tire shop and then it pays the kids to go puncture tires.
I didn't start paying those kids for that. I asked them to do something else. Honestly,
Oh,
I did.
open up a window repair shop and then give kids BB guns. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to, Brett. I'm glad you got to work.
Just in the right time of the year, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to take a picture of
Oh, I
the poor
bet,
guy.
Brett.
He saw some crazy shit.
You know, watch some of those videos on YouTube of the tornadoes. They hit a big building,
Yeah.
fucks the roof off of it first.
But I'm waiting to catch shit like that now. Ever since I put that camera in the truck, I ain't caught shit.
Told you to go on the college campus.
No, no.
There's got to be kids. There's got to be kids there riding Vespas and shit.
That's why. Don't go on college campus. It is so liberal. Not no. You know, I haven't been up there in years. When I first started dating Kelly, I worked at the college. I was in the dish room. I did dishes, pots and pans to be exact.
Oh, oh, that's a good major.
Yeah, because pots and pans were in the kitchen. I didn't have to work in the dish room. I didn't have to, take care of the old food or the trash. The cooks brought me the pans and pots, and I did all the dishes, and I had my own schedule. As long as I had pans, I could go take a break when I wanted.
That led you into being a tank driver, huh?
Yes, that got me to, well, no, that got me to being a grave digger, and the grave digger held me
Oh,
over until being a tank driver.
oh,
Patience Danielson.
oh, that's always a good way to go. Everybody needs at least one summer in the graveyard.
I
Most
think I
tanks.
think everybody ought to. But I did it in high school too. I worked with the historical society. I did it
Ooh,
first through the school, and then I just liked it, and because all the people that ran it were in my town, little town. So I would just help them anyway, and we'd go if they were going to develop a piece of land, we'd make sure there was no graves. If there was, if we had to relocate them, we'd relocate them,
Right.
mm,
restore them if we could.
yeah. Oh my
To me, it
God.
was interesting because sometimes you could look up the people.
Yeah, it was the old lady that showed up there and was fucking just crying her eyes out because a gopher had dug a hole in the corner of the lot where he was buried in.
Oh no!
Yes. Yes, ma'am, we'll get right on that. We're taking care of it. We'll make sure them critters didn't get in there. Oh, what a big. Oh, shit.
No, we didn't. It wasn't that bad for our cemeteries, but flowers. Oh my God! If you missed with a weed whacker and you caught a flower, oh, you were gonna hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Whoo, buddy!
Yep. Never forget my first week or two, I was moving big rocks. I'd move them from one pile to make another pile.
You were in the army too?
No, I was
Oh,
in the graveyard. I
okay.
was in the graveyard.
Oh.
And yeah, Brett, you know how you can really tell is when you go to the old titty bar hangout you used to have, and you go in there and all the girls start looking at you like you're really creepy. That's when you know you're getting old. Ooh, I don't want your dollar. You're creepy.
I know where that's been.
Or the other one, Grandpa, get out of here. You know Grandma's going to be pissed.
Oh, what was that? Guy's sitting in a bar with his buddy having a beer. And this dirty old man, he comes staggering up to the table and he looks at him. He says, I fucked your mother. Okay. I'm going to go fuck your mother tonight. But he looked at him. He says, I fucked your mother tomorrow. He goes, Dad, you're drunk. Go home.
Yeah. No, the roughest one was the stepdad telling the kid, you know, I've been in places where you've come from.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, brother, what do you think?
I think whatever the wife tells me to think, but you'll do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kelly, what do you
Yeah.
think?
What do you think?
Yeah, you should go play with the cool kids.
Wow.
Can I go pee first?
I suppose so.
You got to pee?
Thank you.
All right, I got to drag my ass to my easy chair. All right, guys, so we're going to come and hang out with you guys in Chuck's room. Good night. God bless. Thank you for joining us. Say a prayer for America.
Stay classy, everybody.